one or two things were going to happen to Zach Wilson. He was going to come to the sideline and he was going to tell folks he was seeing ghosts, or he was going to tell folks like that lady on that airlines about Micah Parsons. That MFer right there, he is not real. And sure enough, Micah Parsons showed up and showed out in a not real situation. I have run out of words, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, person, place, of things on how to describe who is Micah Parsons. We are now talking about him being, I'm confident and comfortable in the saying. And I've been and still am an Aaron Rodgers fan to the core. He is my NFL MCM, has been that way for a long time. He's my man crush Monday in the National Football League. He's been that good for that long. Nick Bosa won the Defensive Player of the Year, last year. But ladies and gentlemen, there is a new sheriff in town. And I know that it's early. I know that we're 2 games into this season. But there's not a defensive player in this league, in this world, that is more disruptive, that is more captivating, that is more diabolical in his play than Micah Parsons. More disruptive, more just chaotic, game-wrecking than Micah Parsons. He is the best defensive football player in all of football. I am confident in saying that today. I believe it wholeheartedly. And this ain't some homer take, and I don't give a darn what football team you cheer for. If you're honest with the man or woman that looks back at you in the mirror, you say the same thing too. You say the exact same thing. You have the same stance that I have right now. And I'm willing and almost, I don't know if I'm quite there yet, with saying that Micah Parsons might be the best football player, period. And in any position in this league. I ain't there yet. Patrick Mahomes, even though he's figuring some things out up there in Kansas City, that dude's still a bad man. And so I'm not quite to the point yet where I'm willing to give Micah Parsons just the full-out crown of being the best player in the National Football League. I am giving him the crown of the best defensive player in this league. Argue with your mother. Argue with your daddy. Argue with your auntie. Argue with your uncle. I ain't arguing with you on this. This ain't no argument. That Micah Parsons is the best defensive football player in the world. He has been runner-up to the Defensive Player of the Year for 2 years in a row. Barring any major injury, I'm willing to bet that changes this year. I am. This dude he's an apex predator. He's the king of the jungle. And quarterbacks and offensive coordinators and offensive line, they don't sleep well at night. Josh Dobbs next week against the Cardinals won't sleep well at night. He won't. He won't. Whoever the left tackle is, the left guard, right guard, whoever the offensive line is, they won't sleep well. They won't. Because they know that if Micah Parsons, number 11, puts on a uniform and is playing in that game, they're probably going to get embarrassed at some point in time in the game, if not multiple times in a game. I can give you numbers and stats and get off times and all that. You got eyes. If Stevie Wonder listened to the game, he'd tell you. If he just listened, if Ray Charles listened to the game, they tell you. Baddest man on the planet. It's the baddest mofo around this town. Who am I? Show enough. Micah Parsons. And I know Dan Quinn probably has to sleep on his back before games because he's so football horny, knowing that the next day he gets a chance to coach Micah Parsons in a football game. There's certain things where, you know why Phil Jackson was so zen for so long? That wasn't some book that he read. That wasn't some spiritual journey that he went on. Phil Jackson was so zen because he knew, I got the baddest mofo around this town. I can sit back on that high chair and be so calm because I got Michael Jordan. Then Phil said, I can sit back on this high chair because I got the most dominant player and I got Michael Jordan 2.0. That's why Phil Jackson was so calm. It wasn't because it was some meditation. He didn't find Gandhi or some book or did a study with Mother Teresa. No. When you have Michael Jordan, you know the work's already done. Get out the way. When you have prime Kobe Bryant, prime Shaquille O'Neal, what worries do you have? Dan Quinn sleeps on his back. Probably a couple days a week. Because sleeping on his stomach and dreaming about Micah Parsons sends blood to areas for him where it probably makes it uncomfortable for him to sleep. Doesn't need a blue lineman. He don't need a blue diamond. He don't need that. Just think about Micah Parsons. I get to coach Micah Parsons every freaking day. He walks around crotch first. I would too if I was Dan Quinn. Huh. What a freaking job. What a job. I get to coach Micah Parsons. Whew.